It's up to you. The floor is yours. You each have 3 minutes.
So when I prepared for this closing statement, they told me it was going to be about 20 minutes, and I got here and they said I only had 1 minute, so I'm going to cut it a little short. But first of all, I want to thank Hill College for hosting this forum tonight. It's a great venue, a terrific college, and they do so much work in the community. I also want to thank all of you for attending and all my colleagues for coming tonight, even Tim for showing up in a Hill College sweater. But as I said earlier, when my wife Chris and I sat down and really talked about me stepping forward and running for political office, we realized that we've been business owners and operators of a family business in our community for 36 years, and while we follow politics and we're conscious of that, we were not politically connected. But watching the population loss and having it hit so close to home with our own 4 children leaving and pursuing careers elsewhere made it really personal for us. And it came to the point where my wife and I prayed about it, and then she said to me, I think you'll regret it if you don't step forward and try, because somebody has got to step forward and initiate change and a fresh set of eyes. And so these are all the things that I want to work on as commissioner, and hopefully I'll have the opportunity to do that. I care about what happens to our retirees. At the same time, we have to be conscious of our young people. At the same moment, we have farmers struggling and trying to hold on to that 3rd generation farm. And I've watched fellow small businessmen go out of business as the economy goes up and down. We're now faced with inflation. We've just come out of a pandemic. We have great challenges in the commissioner's office with budget. It's no secret that I'm a little bit of a hawk, and I'm the skeptical one when it comes to taxes. I see lower taxes as an opportunity to create a stronger economy. So I'm hoping with your help that I'll have an opportunity to get in office and work on all these things. I can only tell you that every decision or vote that I make, I will ask myself, how does this better the residents of Mercer County? And I will have the residents at the forefront of every thought, because we as leaders serve you. That's our job, to serve you. So this isn't a career, this is a choice to try to help our community and make things just a little better. Thank you for the opportunity tonight, and I hope you will consider voting for me on November 7th.
Well, thank you for being here tonight. I hope all of you learned a little bit. When we stop learning, it's time to plan your funeral, right? Every day we have to learn a little bit more, and I think tonight we've all learned something. What I've learned over the past 8 years is working together with people is the best way to get things done. I want to continue that over the next 4 years, and I think that as a commissioner, we have 2 commissioners leaving and we have 1 left. If we have 3 new commissioners come in, my fear is that we have to reboot the whole system. The relationships that have been built over the past 8 years are crucial in our future success. And I think that we will feel the consequences if we start over. Will they survive? Probably. They'll do fine. But they won't excel. They won't build on what we've already done. And that's what I think I bring to the commissioner's office. The ability to show them, introduce them, let them know what we've done in the past, what the vision was, where we're headed. That sort of reassessment, the $18 million radio program, the project that we're in the midst of, and so many other things. A lot of people don't know this, but last year, the President of the United States called Mercer County's Commissioner's Office and said, on a Wednesday, I'd like to have Commissioner McGonigal come to the White House on Friday. And after rearranging my schedule, I made it to the White House. I went to the Oval Office, and he wanted to know why a county the size of Mercer County was spending its entire American Rescue money on one project. So many other counties were distributing that money all over the place. We were spending it on one project. And I told them, I said, because we're fiscally conservative, and what we did was we had a project that was going to save lives and it had been put off for years. And this was our opportunity to get that done. So we're going to do it. He said, well, that's why you're here today with 5 metropolitan cities. He said, there's 3,000 counties and it's unheard of what you're doing. And that's why we have you here today. He marched us out into the Rose Garden. We addressed the press corps. And I'm standing there thinking, how did I get here? I got there with relationships, doing the right thing, working hard with my county commissioners. That's how we brought 2 governor's awards back from Harrisburg. Our EMA, they worked with 3 other counties. So we did our CAD system. We saved not only Mercer County millions of dollars, we saved Pennsylvania millions of dollars. That's the kind of work that I brought to the county over the past 8 years. You know, when you're running for office, there's 2 things you have to do. You gotta brag, and you gotta ask people for money. 2 of the worst things in the world. And as I stand here going over all this, doing a review of what we've done, I just want to make a promise to you. I promise no matter who gets elected, if I'm one of them, we're gonna continue this work. So thank you.
I want to start off by thanking everyone for coming tonight. I understand how valuable everybody's time is, and it means a lot to myself, and I'm sure my 3 colleagues up here that are running it. You gave the time out of your evening to come listen to us. Some things that I'd like to talk about in closing is a little bit more about some of my experience. I have been a small business owner that I started from scratch and built up a company called the Rescue Store, where I sold the Jaws of Life rescue tools to public safety organizations, primarily fire departments and EMS agencies. Over the 10 years that I operated that business, I was able to grow it into a multi-million-dollar business that a national company was interested in and eventually purchased that business from me. So I do have the experience of taking something from scratch and building it into something that can be great. When I can take that experience into the commissioner's office and understand what it's like to take nothing and make something from it. I also have experience working in the volunteer fire service, and some might say, well, geez, that's great, he's a volunteer fireman. What experience did that give you? Well, the volunteer fire service is a big thing in Pennsylvania, and it saves a ton of tax money. If you had to pay firemen to do what the volunteers do, everybody would feel a serious financial hit. So I understand what it takes to build a team of volunteers, which is very difficult to get people to give up their free time and risk their lives. And I think that that's a key attribute that I can carry to the commissioner's office, because we've heard from all of us up here the importance of having 3 commissioners working together as one team. We can't be working against one another because nothing will get done. So I hope that on November 7th I can get your votes, and I ask for that so that I can work together with a team of 3 new commissioners and carry the county forward. Thank you.
So this is the last major campaign event for the commissioners before Election Day. Some of us are probably pretty happy about that. Some of us are pretty tired about, we've been working really hard since the beginning of the year to get this far. So a lot of us have people we'd like to thank. Of course, we have to thank Teal again, to thank my students for coming. I appreciate it. And I know Morgan has written down a few things. We're going to talk about them on Friday morning. I wrote them down too. So what I'd like to do now is to thank my husband, Randy, who I did not mention in the beginning. Randy and I have been married for 27 years. We have 2 adult children. Now we live here in Mercer County. So we have good places to visit. One's in Miami and one's in San Francisco. So, and I do have lots of friends in the audience who have been very supportive of me throughout this. But I have 2 friends who have kind of been there in the trenches with me. One is my friend Kelly Weiss in the back, and Jerry Stump, who is my eyes and ears here in Greenville and Roanoke, Mercer County. So I wrote down a few things because I didn't want to forget what I was going to say, because if you know me, I can just go off on a tangent. It will be, I'll lose my train of thought. But I wanted to say that, One of the things to keep in mind as you decide who you're going to vote for is this election is not really about the four of us up here. This election is about you. It's about the future of Mercer County. It's about the people who live here, whether they're young, old, middle-aged. Everyone has a different priority depending on their age and what the stage of life they're in. And we can make Mercer County attractive to everybody. So your job on November 7th is to decide which of the three of us will be the best team for Mercer County. Like I said before, you can only choose two of us, but it's your job to decide who's going to lead Mercer County into the future. Who's going to make sure that we put the people first, we take care of our veterans, we take care of our senior citizens, we take care of our anyone who need, our people with intellectual disabilities who need help from the county. Are we going to take care of them? Are we going to put the people first? Are we not going to, it's not about our egos, and I agree with Tim that it's hard to brag about yourself when you're running for office. That's one of the worst things. I don't mind asking for money, I just don't like bragging about myself. But I do think that, it's important to keep in mind that you want people who are going to be able to, you can trust them, they're honest, they're hardworking, they're going to put the time in. One of the things people say is, well, how many hours a day will you work as commissioner? And I say, you work until the job's done. That's how I was raised, and that's how we work at the Coleman House. You work until the job's done. So I would appreciate your vote on November 7th, and I look forward to serving all of you as our next Mercer County Commissioner. Thank you.
That concludes tonight's debate. Thank you all for coming.